Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is directed by Wes Ball and is the fourth installment in the new rebooted Planet of the Apes franchise. Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define a future for apes and humans alike. Now, if you saw my reviews for the previous few films, you would know that I really love the Planet of the Apes trilogy. I think it is one of the best rebooted series out there and has consistently been great with every movie forward. In fact, each movie since Rise of the Planet of the Apes has gotten better and better. This movie, however, to me, was probably the worst of the four. Thankfully, this is its own story. This doesn't ruin the previous films in any way, and for the most part, I would say that I did enjoy myself, but compared to the previous trilogy, it feels like a massive step down, because half of the film felt like a reboot of War for the Planet of the Apes, like a straight up remake of that movie, just taking some elements here and there, changing around, but keeping the same structure and story going throughout. And then the later half, when they get to the actual kingdom, I really liked. I really like how they explore some themes of apes looking at their past and discovering who they once were and how humans used to be the dominant species, and the conflict that our main character Noah has in this sort of ideology and what the past was. I really wanted this movie to explore a lot more of that, especially with its villain Proxima Caesar, who I really enjoyed the performance of, but the character itself feels very lacking because the film by the second half felt rushed to talk about the kingdom stuff and is just focused on pushing the plot forward instead of the emotions and the characters with the story. And that's where the film really faltered for me. It felt like it had no idea what it wanted to be. It wanted to stick to something great from the past, but it has a lot of ideas for the future that it has no idea what it wants to be. Which is very ironic because those are what the themes of the movie presented for its characters. But the movie itself has no idea how to tell this kind of story. And that is where I think the film failed for me. The visual effects, however, still look really good, and like with all the previous Planet of the Apes films, they all look photorealistic. They all are incorporated very well into the scene. They don't look as good as War for the Planet of the Apes. There are some moments where the CGI can feel really glossy, especially when the characters are wet, but for the most part, the CGI, the background effects, and the entire world looks lived in, and I really like how the way this new World of Planet of the Apes films is presented. There's a big thunderstorm outside. I'm sorry, I cannot control nature. I am not Zeus. But all in all, the special effects still look really good. And for a budget of $160, I believe this movie costed, it is remarkable that this film ended up looking as good as it did. And a lot of Hollywood movies should take note of that. The action sequences are a lot of fun too, despite them not being the best helmed emotionally in the entire franchise. The overall pacing and direction of these action sequences and the brutality of them are still done very well, and I was really engaged in the final battle, and that was probably one of my favorite parts in the entire movie. But it's the story that held the movie back for me. I didn't engage enough with the characters to care about them. I felt like there was a lot of missed opportunities. The character of Nova and his friends I felt like could have been explored even further, and that they should have been with him on this journey throughout the entire film. I felt like the new orangutan character was a bit underused, and I didn't really get enough emotionally attached to him to care about him throughout the film. Overall, this film was fine. It had good special effects, good action. The second half was great and explored a lot of neat ideas and had a really fun finale. But it's that first half that was really slow and that felt too much like War for the Planet of the Apes for my liking. And it did not feel original in any way, shape, or form, despite a few changes here and there. The overall structure of the story, even some parts of the ending, feel too much like War for the Planet of the Apes. It's like the director wanted to remake that movie, but he didn't know how to make this story feel original or different enough to justify itself. And only changed a few things here just enough to where it may seem original, but in all honesty, this is just a mediocre film in my opinion that I could probably watch in the background, but I don't think I'm ever going to remember this film. Now that I sat with it since I watched it yesterday, yeah, I don't know. This film's fine, but it could have been a lot better. I'm going to give Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes a C+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.